So with Apple event quickly approaching, Wonderlust, you guys can see the blue theme to accommodate that. The iPhone 15 announcement is more than likely, and the pre-orders are gonna be next week from today. Now it's rumored that the regular iPhone 15 models is gonna come in 128, 256, 512. But for the Pro models, the iPhone 15 Pro is gonna come in 256, 512, 1 terabyte, and the whopping 2 terabytes of storage, which is just insane. So many choices this year. You gotta decide if you want the regular model or the Plus model, or you want a Pro model or the Pro Max model. Then you gotta decide the color, and you gotta decide on the storage. So hopefully this is gonna make things a little bit more easier. Now, if you're going with 128 gigabytes for the standard model, this is the cheapest way to get the iPhone 15. You can store 27,000 through 335,000 photos. Now I just realized I'm recording in 60, but I'm gonna roll with it. But this is gonna depend on the type of pictures that you're gonna take, because it is rumored that Apple is gonna incorporate that 48 megapixel sensor on the regular iPhone 15 models. So I'm sure you could probably disable the 48 megapixels to save some space. In terms of videos, things get a little bit complex. You can store 45 hours of 1080p footage. Now, if you record 4K at 30, 1 minute is gonna take up to 350 megabytes. 5 minutes is gonna take up to 1.75 gigabytes. But 10 minutes is gonna take up to 3.5 gigabytes, and 30 minutes is gonna take 10.5 gigabytes. Now, if you go over to the camera formats, there's a toggle that you can enable, or basically just an option that you can select. It's called high efficiency. This is gonna reduce the file sizes, but it's gonna utilize the HEIF and the HEVC format. I'm trying not to make this video complicated for you guys, but if you enable this setting, it's gonna reduce the file size. But most compatible is gonna work for most video editing software, so that's the setting that I have on. Now, in terms of apps, the average application in the App Store is about 33 megabytes. Now, yeah, you guys rolling your eyes, you're looking at TikTok, that's 1 gigabyte, then Instagram is 500 gigabytes. That is just due to the caches within those apps, and you may have to clear out those caches, but give or take 128 gigabytes, you could be able to store 3,000 applications on your iPhone, and this is just minusing iOS and even your photos, for that matter, that we just discussed it earlier. So this is just taking 128 gigabytes and just incorporating all the apps, just downloading 3,000 apps through that 128 gigabytes. And you guys are probably wondering, like, whoa, I thought this is 256 gigabytes. Yes, it is, but 128 is a great stepping stone, because 256 now, you take those numbers and you double it. So taking the 128 gigabytes, instead of storing 27,000 through 35,000 photos, now you can store a whopping 54,000 photos to 70,000 photos. In terms of video, you can store up to 90 hours of 1080p footage. You can now store 3,368 apps. And for the videos and everything like that, it's gonna be the same thing. 256 is gonna be perfect for most people, especially if you're going with the Pro model. But if you happen to record Apple ProRes, you may want to get the 512 or even the 1 terabyte, because the Apple Pro RAW is going to take up a bunch of storage. The Apple ProRes, you can get away with it with 256 gigabytes, although the pictures are going to be massive in file sizes. But if you're going to record ProRes, that's going to be the killer right there for 256. And that is just gonna be the storage melter. For example, my iPhone 14 Pro Max, I only recorded only one Apple ProRes on here, because the storage was just getting so annoying. So taking over to the iPhone storage, the bar is basically filled up, and it is just thanks to my photos. So my photos are taking a whopping 179 gigabytes. And of course I have the Instant 360, so I have camera accessories, gimbals from Instant 360s and 360 cameras. So using that application, it saves even more videos on the app. And then of course the messages. People always send in pictures, GIFs, and links and everything like that. So the messages that you're gonna be getting, that's gonna be taking up iPhone storage too as well. And of course, I'm a content creator, so I use CapCut. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. Maybe you're gonna be recording some video. 512 is gonna be your safe option, and especially for people who's gonna keep their iPhone 15 for maybe at least 2 years or 4 years, then you may want to get that 512 just to have that ease of mind, so you don't have to worry about space later on. Oh, and I didn't even talk about my DJI app. So if you have a drone and you download the DJI app, That's gonna also take up some space too, because some of the footage that saves onto your drone, it saves onto your phone too as well. This phone is my content machine right here. It has amazing cameras. I use this to fly my drone. I use this for certain camera accessories. And even for this camera that you guys see in here, I can wirelessly connect it to my phone and save it onto my phone, edit it on Lightroom, drop it on Instagram. So I use my phone to the absolute brim. So perfect segue, actually, perfect segue. The storage that I'm going with this year for the iPhone 15, first and foremost, of course, I'm going with the 15 Pro Max. I need that periscope and zoom lens, but the storage, I'm gonna go with 1 terabyte this year. I'm not sure if Apple's actually gonna do 2 terabytes, but even if they're gonna introduce that, I'm probably not gonna get that. It's rumored that that's gonna cost $2,100. So I'm gonna go with 1 terabyte this year. Considering that I'm gonna also upgrade my iPhone every single year, 1 terabyte is not gonna be a bad idea for me, and I think that's the storage that I'm gonna go with. I might even change my mind and go with 2 terabyte and just go all out. I'm not really a big iCloud fan. I'm not a fan of subscriptions. I always try to limit my subscription usage, but you can go that route. So I see somebody going with a 256 gigabyte iPhone 15 and then maybe getting the 2 terabyte iCloud storage. But here's the thing, you're gonna have to keep on paying every single month. Whether the iPhone 16 is out, 17 is out, you gotta keep on paying that. Now, me personally, getting that one-time purchase, this is just my entrepreneur side, just please excuse it. I like buying something one time and I just like to be set with it. So whatever it is, my iPhone, it has that photos. I'm still using the free iCloud 5 gigabytes, and that could be a very compelling option because now instead of having 180 gigabytes of photos onto your storage device, now that can go towards the cloud, being 2 terabytes, and no matter where you are or no matter what device you get, you always have those photos in the cloud. But here's the thing, I always back up my iPhone. I always back it up onto my MacBook. So if anything does happen to my phone, I could just back it up from the last backup. So tomato. But it is more convenient with the iCloud. You take a picture, it automatically uploads to the cloud versus backing up onto a computer. You might miss this day, that day. By the time you turn around, it's 2 months, 3 months. So you're not gonna have the most up-to-date backup every single time. And there's even a hack where you could take up the backup data and put it onto a hard drive, which I'm currently doing. Done, problem solved. All in all, the base storage for the iPhone 15, 128 gigabytes versus the 256 on the 15 Pro should be perfect for most people, especially the 256 gigabytes. But any bit of content creation on the long term, you may want to get at least 512 or even 1 terabyte, but stay tuned for Apple's event on Tuesday with pre-orders being on Friday. We're getting real close, guys. Subscribe, like, comment for the latest and greatest of the iPhone 15. Have a simple day. Peace.